Welcome to Sleepless Readings. Tonight we'll be reading a tale called I'm Fairly Sure My Cat Saved My Life Last Night. Believe me, I feel ridiculous making that assertion. Cats aren't exactly known for heroically defending their owners, but I'll swear on anything you like, I now owe my continued existence to my 13-pound furry gremlin. I just have the one cat, Bugsy, a rage-fueled 4-year-old ginger tabby. Her average day consists of sleeping, biting my feet, and shitting in my bathroom sink. Not exactly the hero songs are made of, but I love her despite myself. After all, she is the only pet I've ever had, and I would slay legions for her. I go to bed around 11, and she generally runs up and down the hallway for about 30 minutes before coming and curling up next to me. Sometimes I swear she is trying to smother me by wallowing all over my face and sticking her whiskers up my nose, so I didn't find it remotely strange to feel 4 little paws hop onto my bed and walk across my chest. I could hear her purring and she circled on top of me. Eyes closed, I reached a hand out to pet her. My fingers were met with a disconcerting texture akin to the rough side of a kitchen sponge. Pulling my hand away, I could feel the purring rattling through my bones. My eyes flew open. Even in the dark, I could tell it wasn't Bugsy on my chest. The rough fur that covered this animal was blacker than the darkness surrounding it. It stood on long, slender legs that supported a skin and bones body. Its head was teardrop-shaped, with no visible nose, and eyes that were much too big. Massive, reflective orange eyes met mine. The purr deepened, a thumping bass radiating through my body. I stared, transfixed, into those luminous eyes. It blinked slowly. Languidly, I realized I wasn't breathing and drew in a long, shuddering breath. It smiled. Hundreds of tiny teeth glowed in the sand light as the creature smiled, opening its mouth much further than it should have been able to. Hot air smelling of tar and smoke forced its way down to my lungs. The purr changed, gradually becoming higher pitched until it sounded more like the whine of an airplane engine. I felt my eardrums pop agonizingly. I couldn't think, couldn't move. The all-consuming need was to keep staring deep into those eyes. Galaxies and nebulae spun behind those eyes. The inky depths of the ocean could be found in those eyes. Hot liquid was dripping out of my ears. Then, as suddenly as they appeared, the eyes were gone. The weight was ripped from my chest, and the purring stopped abruptly as the animal flew, shrieking against the wall. I saw a flash of orange as Bugsy tackled the thing. My hands flew up to cover my ears as the shrieking continued, joined by the hissing, spitting ferocity of Bugsy. Bugsy flew back across the bed with a loud pop. Finally coming to my senses, I jumped out of bed and flicked the light switch. Bugsy paced back and forth, tail twitching, agitated. Panicky, my eyes darted all over the room. The thing was nowhere in sight. I dropped to the floor and looked under the bed. Nothing. Bugsy licked at a scratch on her shoulder. I cautiously crawled across the bed to the far corner where the thing had last been. The only sign I could find of a creature was a viscous green liquid on one of my pillows. Shaking, I pulled Bugsy to me, looking her over. Aside from a couple scratches on her, she was fine. I hugged her tight as she glared at me. I haven't seen any indication of it coming back yet, but I can't bring myself to turn the light off or to let Bugsy leave my sight. I took her to the vet today to make sure nothing was wrong. I had to tell him that she had gotten in a fight with another cat, but I didn't have a good explanation when he pulled a straight, black claw out of one of the cuts. Thank you for listening. That was I'm Fairly Sure My Cat Saved My Life Last Night. Please consider subscribing for more. And as always, stay sleepless.